The darkness feels alive, as if Gilgo Beach itself is holding its breath, guarding the secrets of 17 souls buried in its sands. The Long Island serial killer began his reign of terror decades ago, and his shadow lingers still. Could he be closer than you think? Dare to step into this abyss with me as we unravel a nightmare that refuses to die. The first thread of this twisted tale unraveled on a foggy night in May 2010 when Shannon Gilbert vanished in Oak Beach, a quiet hamlet on Long Island's South Shore. I can almost feel the damp, salty air clinging to my skin as I picture that night, the waves crashing rhythmically against the shore, their sound a haunting lullaby that echoes in the stillness, streetlights casting long, eerie shadows over empty streets, the distant hum of crickets filling the void, and the faint, briny scent of seaweed drifting through the air, mingling with the fog. Shannon, a 24-year-old escort advertising on Craigslist, was at a client's home that night. A retired insurance appraiser named Joseph Brewer, whose calm exterior, complete with a neatly trimmed lawn and a quaint seaside cottage, hid something deeply unsettling, a facade that masked the chaos brewing within those walls. Something went horribly wrong. She made a frantic 911 call, her voice shaking with terror as she screamed, "Someone's after me! Please, help!" I can hear the raw desperation in her words, imagining her running barefoot through the neighborhood, her feet slapping against the cold, wet pavement, pounding on doors until her knuckles bled, her breath coming in ragged gasps as panic overtook her, neighbors like Barbara Brennan, an elderly widow peering through her curtains, her hands trembling as she clutched a rosary, whispering prayers into the night, and Gus Coletti, a retired fisherman who heard her cries while sipping his evening coffee on his porch, caught a glimpse of her. A fleeting figure in a black skirt and red top, her blonde hair matted with sweat, eyes wide with fear, before she disappeared into the marshlands near Gilgo Beach. I picture her lost among those towering reeds, the mud pulling at her feet like a living entity, cold water seeping into her shoes, her screams swallowed by the wind as the marsh's murky depths claimed her, the tall grasses slicing her legs, leaving faint red trails in her wake. Her fate sealed in that desolate expanse. Months passed with no trace, her family clinging to fading hope as her mother Mari drove the streets at night, her headlights cutting through the fog, calling Shannon's name into the darkness, her voice breaking with each unanswered echo, while her sister Sherry organized candlelit vigils, the flickering flames reflecting their grief, their shadows dancing on the pavement like ghosts. Yet her disappearance triggered a chain reaction that would unearth a horror no one could have anticipated, a nightmare that would stain Long Island's shores with blood for years to come. In December 2010, a Suffolk County police officer named Daniel Harris was training with his K-9 unit along Ocean Parkway. A routine patrol turned into a plunge into darkness under a sky heavy with clouds. I can see Harris, a veteran cop with 15 years on the force, his face etched with lines of experience, his dog Blue, a German shepherd with a keen nose and a restless energy, sniffing the cold, frost-covered ground, the faint beam of his flashlight cutting through the fog, its light bouncing off the barren dunes and casting ghostly shapes in the mist. They stumbled upon something hidden in the brush, a burlap sack, weathered by time and salt, its rough texture hinting at a grim secret, the fabric stained with the dark imprint of decay, a faint chemical odor clinging to it, perhaps from the killer's hands. Inside were the skeletal remains of a woman, her bones stripped clean by the elements, her skull staring up at the sky with empty sockets, a silent witness to her final moments. But it wasn't Shannon. It was the first of 4 bodies, all found within a quarter-mile stretch, now infamous as the Gilgo Four: Maureen Brainerd Barnes, Melissa Barthélemy, Megan Waterman, and Amber Lynn Costello. A lump forms in my throat as I think of these women, each with a story, each a life devoured by a monster, who saw them as nothing more than objects to be hunted and discarded. Maureen, 25, a single mother from Norwich, Connecticut, had been missing since July 9, 2007. I imagine her final moments. She'd gone to Manhattan to meet a client. Her phone last pinging in Manorville, 40 miles east in a rural area, dotted with pine forests and abandoned lots. Her sister Missy hearing her voice for the last time about a midnight train home. Maureen's tone light despite the late hour. A hint of exhaustion in her laughter. She dreamed of a better life for her 4-year-old daughter Lily, saving every penny from her escort work to buy a house with a garden where Lily could play, a place where they could plant sunflowers together, her sketchbook filled with drawings of that future home. But that night, her hopes dissolved into silence. Her daughter left waiting for a mother who'd never return, clutching a stuffed rabbit Maureen had given her. Melissa, 24, from the Bronx, vanished on July 12, 2009, after telling a friend she was meeting someone for cash to support her struggling family, her mother battling cancer, her younger siblings relying on her apartment a cramped space where she cooked meals to keep them together. I shiver as I learn her family received chilling calls from her phone. A man's voice taunting, "I killed Melissa." The calls traced to busy spots like Madison Square Garden and Massapequa. A cruel game that dragged on for weeks. Her sister Amy breaking down in tears with each one. Her brother Marcus punching a hole in the wall, unable to bear the torment. Their mother recording the calls in a futile hope of finding a clue. Megan, 22, a mother from Portland, Maine, was last seen leaving a Hauppauge Holiday Inn on June 6, 2010, after posting on Craigslist. I can see her in the grainy surveillance footage, her yellow sweater a bright spot against the night, walking hand in hand with a man toward a white SUV. Her 2-year-old daughter at home with her mother, unaware her world was about to shatter, her tiny voice asking for "mommy" every night for months, her grandmother singing lullabies to soothe her cries. Amber, 27, from West Babylon, disappeared on September 2nd, 2010, after agreeing to a $1,500 date. She stepped into a car with 2 men, one with a deep voice, her roommates overhearing her final phone call, her voice tinged with unease as she confirmed the address, her heroin addiction making her an easy target, her sister finding her diary later, filled with scribbled dreams of recovery, a list of rehab centers she'd circled but never reached. I can almost hear the rustle of the burlap as their remains were uncovered, their bones telling a tale of methodical brutality, their bodies wrapped and discarded with a precision that sends a chill through me. Each sack a tomb crafted by a killer's cold, calculating hands, the knots tied with a sailor's expertise. The discoveries didn't end with the Gilgo Four. As the search for Shannon intensified, more remains surfaced in March and April 2011, each adding to the terror-gripping Long Island, the once idyllic beaches now synonymous with death, their golden sands hiding a graveyard beneath. Jessica Taylor, 20, missing since July 2003, had her torso found in Manorville years earlier. But now her head, hands, and a leg turned up near Gilgo Beach. Her tattoo, a vibrant red heart with her initials, mutilated to erase her identity. Only a faint outline remaining as a ghostly reminder of who she was. The ink smeared as if scrubbed with a blade. I feel a pang of sorrow thinking of her. A vibrant young woman from Washington, D.C., who turned to escorting to escape a troubled home, her mother recalling how Jessica loved to dance, her laughter filling their small apartment, her favorite song, a slow jazz tune she'd hum while cooking, her life now reduced to pieces scattered across the island. Her mother still lighting candles in her memory at a local church, the wax dripping onto a photo of Jessica at her high school prom. Valerie Mack, 24, disappeared in 2000. Her partial remains found in Manorville that year, with more discovered in 2011 near Gilgo, her bones scattered like forgotten relics. It wasn't until 2020 that DNA identified her as a mother from Philadelphia who'd run away at 17 after a fight with her stepfather. Her family unaware of her fate for 2 decades. Her brother searching shelters in vain. Her mother keeping her childhood teddy bear on her bed as a painful keepsake, its fur worn from years of clutching it in hope. Then there's the unidentified Asian victim, found on April 4th, 2011, a young person, possibly transgender. Killed 5 to 10 years earlier, their body dressed in women's clothing, a faded pink blouse and skirt, teeth missing, a surgical scar on their abdomen, suggesting a hidden past of hardship, perhaps a life of rejection and struggle they couldn't escape. Their identity lost to time. I feel a haunting emptiness as I think of them, a life erased, a mystery that gnaws at me, their story locked in the silence of those bones, a silent plea for recognition. Nearby, a toddler's remains were found, no older than 2, with a tiny sock still clinging to a foot. Its delicate blue fabric a heartbreaking contrast to the horror, linked to a woman nicknamed Peaches for a peach tattoo on her chest, the fruit's outlines still vivid against her decayed skin, her identity still unknown, her child's death bringing tears to my eyes as I imagine a mother's final embrace, her arms shielding the little one from the cold. Another skull, tied to Karen Vergata, missing since 1996, was discovered on Fire Island, her life as a sex worker ending in silence. Her friends recalling her laughter at a bar in Southampton just weeks before, her voice bright as she spoke of a new start, planning to move to Florida, her suitcase half-packed when she vanished. I feel the weight of each name, each life, 10 bodies confirmed, perhaps more, all pointing to a killer who knew how to vanish into the night. Their stories a silent cry carried by the wind across the desolate beaches, their echoes lost in the dunes. Finally, in December 2011, Shannon's remains were found in the marsh, her purse and phone nearby, her jeans tangled in the brush, her body partially submerged in the cold, brackish water, her skeletal hand reaching out as if still pleading for help, her fingers curled around a broken branch. The police labeled it an accidental drowning, claiming she panicked and got lost in the marsh, her disorientation leading to her death. But I don't buy it for a second. I hear her 911 call in my mind, the terror in her voice over 23 agonizing minutes, as she pleaded with dispatchers, her driver Michael Pack, and Brewer, who coldly said, "She's just a hooker. She'll calm down." his voice devoid of empathy as Shannon's screams echoed in the background, her words slurring as exhaustion set in. I can feel her fear, the rustling of the marsh as she ran, the tall grasses slicing her legs, leaving faint red trails. The silence that fell when the call cut off, the dispatcher's inaction weighing on my chest like a stone, their casual tone a stark contrast to her panic. Her family, led by her sister Sheree, hired private investigator John Ray and pushed for a second autopsy, which revealed signs of strangulation, bruises on her neck, a broken hyoid bone, evidence of a struggle ignored in the official report, her body showing signs of being dragged through the underbrush, pine needles embedded in her hair. I feel a surge of anger. How could they dismiss her so easily? Her mother Murphy's voice breaking as she demanded answers in press conferences, her hands clutching a photo of Shannon as a child, smiling at a county fair, her face smeared with cotton candy. Was Shannon another victim of the same killer? Her flight a desperate escape from his grasp? Her footsteps leaving a trail the police failed to follow? Or did her panicked run lead us to his graveyard, an accidental discovery that peeled back the veil on his crimes? The uncertainty chills me, and I can't shake the sense that her death holds a key we've yet to unlock, a piece of the puzzle buried in the marsh's murky depths, its surface rippling with secrets. The investigation into these murders has been a tangled mess, and as I dig into the details, frustration builds within me like a storm gathering over the horizon. For years, the Suffolk County Police Department seemed to stumble at every turn, their efforts clouded by alleged corruption that reeks of betrayal, a dark stain on the badge meant to protect the innocent. I read about Chief Jimmy Burke and DA Tom Spoda, both convicted in 2016 of obstructing justice in an unrelated case involving Burke's assault on a suspect who stole from his car, their influence allegedly blocking FBI collaboration and evidence analysis in the Gilgo case, with rumors swirling of protecting local elites tied to underground networks, perhaps even clients of the victims themselves. I can't fathom it. Why would they hinder the hunt for a killer stalking their own streets, leaving families in torment, their cries for justice unanswered, their pleas drowned out by the sound of crashing waves? The 911 tape, released in 2022 after years of legal battles led by Sheree and John Ray, only deepened the mystery. Its grainy audio a haunting record of that night, every static-filled second a testament to lost opportunity. I listened to Shannon's voice, her pleas growing frantic. "I don't know where I am," she sobbed, Pax's confusion as he lost sight of her, his car idling in the driveway as he argued with Brewer. Brewer's detached tone downplaying the situation and the dispatcher's slow response, asking irrelevant questions as precious minutes ticked away, their indifference of betrayal etched into the recording. I wonder what the police missed in those critical hours. Did they overlook a suspect in their midst, someone who knew the area too well, someone who had walked those streets in a uniform, their badge a shield for their crimes? They claimed she drowned, but the inconsistencies, her distance from deep water, the signs of a struggle, the lack of water in her lungs, the presence of pine needles embedded in her clothes, the faint bruise pattern on her wrist, make me question their conclusion, a conclusion that feels like a convenient way to close a case they couldn't solve, a cover-up whispered about in the precinct's back rooms. The case went cold for years, families left in agony. Maureen's sister Missy, holding vigils in Norwich, her voice cracking as she read poems for her sister under a gray sky, Megan's mother writing letters to lawmakers, her handwriting shaky with grief, the ink smudging from her tears until 2022, when a new task force under DA Ray Tierney revived the hunt with fresh eyes and advanced DNA technology, their determination a beacon in the darkness. I'm gripped by the breakthrough announced on July 13, 2023, the arrest of Rex Heuermann, a 61-year-old architect from Massapequa Park, charged with 6 murders, including the Gilgo Four, Jessica Taylor, and Sandra Costilla, killed in 1993. I gasp as I learn his DNA, found on hairs and a belt with WH or HM initials, tied him to the crimes. Evidence gathered from his home, his Chevrolet Avalanche, even a pizza box he discarded outside his office, a discarded slice of pepperoni pizza becoming the key to a decades-long mystery, its grease-stained lid a silent witness. But with 11 bodies, perhaps more, I can't help but wonder, is he the soul?